being that you understand the restraints, right? Because someone from tech can walk in and say, we'll do it this way, right? And it doesn't work for dentistry. What would you, if you were going to build a plan for somebody and you were going to give them like 3 main things to do, what would be those 3 main things?
To retain talent, to attract talent, or just,
all of the above. Yeah, benefits, just the benefit package that you're going to offer now to attract and retain the best talent. What would those 3 things be that you got to have these in there?
That's obviously going to vary by area. If you're going to be in a more rural location where you have less competition and I say less competition from other dental practices, just because you have less competition in dentistry doesn't mean you have less competition. Your front desk skills are transferable to many other industries. So, just because you're in a smaller location doesn't 100% mean you've got your people and locked in and they can't go anywhere. So the first thing I tell people to look at is the total rewards. What is your hourly? How many hours are they working? So what's their annual base salary? What does your benefits add up to be? What does it cost you in paid time off? What does it cost you in holidays, sick leave, if you separate that out? What expense are you paying for health insurance? And actually get that in some kind of number where you could literally, and I have some practices do this, they hand their employees a sheet at the end of the year saying, this is literally what your total rewards cost is. It's not just your hourly rate. So
just so we're clear, it's so your salary is going to be, I'm just going to use round numbers, 50,000, but we're giving you 20,000.
Right. They actually spell this out. This is how much it costs us to pay in taxes and benefits and all of the things that go into this employee's total rewards package, not just their hourly rate. And I have a slide that I deliver in some of my business planning presentations about how an employee's salary is not just hourly rate. I'll get a lot of startup practices that'll say, oh yeah, it's, $15 an hour times 32 hours a week. I'm like, yes, but it's also all these other things that equal a good percentage higher than that. So do that first and actually see where you are in line with your market. You need to compare to your market, which is incredibly hard to do right now. Oh my goodness, you have no idea. It's insane. You're literally going through.
And why is it hard to do? Just because the
data from last year is what the Bureau of Labor Statistics will produce, which we all know is crap right now. It's difficult to get a really accurate assessment of what everybody's paying because people are having to go up so quickly or be so flexible, or maybe they're offering a sign-on bonus in addition to this, and you don't always see that. So you're literally scrolling through Indeed at this point in some cases saying this is what people are offering for this position. Sometimes you're getting that information from job candidates. Well, this practice offered me this. What can you do for me? Whether they're being honest or not, that can take that with a grain of salt. But still, sometimes they'll give you that information, and you kind of find out that market value from there. There are surveys that are going around, but honestly, by the time they're completed and published, it'll probably have changed again.
So so you can only do 3 things. You're going to help a DSO, or you're in charge of the HR for a DSO for attracting and retaining talent. Number 1 is total awards. What would be number 2 and 3?
To look at your total rewards. The second thing I would look at your culture in general. Look and see whether or not you're having trouble getting candidates in the door, or are you having trouble keeping them? I've had one practice I've spoken with lately that they have people leaving after 2 or 3 weeks, and they're at a loss for what they're doing. And I'm like, look at what your culture is. What are they coming into? Do you have some issues possibly in your management hierarchy with your practice administrators, or is it possibly with your associates or somebody else that's at the practice? Are they all coming from one location? Are they coming across the board? Is it all one city versus, the state or overall? So kind of look and see if you can pinpoint where the issues are. Because I want to say it's a Gallup survey from a couple of years ago that said, 70% of people leave jobs because of the manager, not because of pay, not because of benefits. They leave because of the manager, especially this younger workforce and even the millennial workforce. They want to work for somebody who actually cares about them, work for somebody who is going to provide what they want and look at their goals and help grow and develop them, help them achieve the work-life balance that they want. They're not just there for a paycheck. Hopefully some are, I'm sure, I'm not generalizing any generation.
So number 1, total awards. Number 2, make sure your culture's in line so you can retain them.
Yes.
And then what would number 3 be?
Number 3, I think it kind of goes as a spinoff of culture, but looking at your onboarding process, your onboarding and recruiting process. Whenever you're attracting talent, are your recruiters, internal or otherwise, getting back to candidates? Are they giving them the information they want? Are they being upfront about the salary? Are they being upfront about maybe the schedule, for example? Are they bringing people in on day one, giving them 2 hours of orientation and then sticking them in the team without ever, having them tour the practice or meet the rest of the team? They're just expecting them to jump up and be productive. How are you really treating your candidates like part of the team and welcoming them to your culture? What are you? There's a couple of companies out there that will do like welcome packages, for example, where they give you all kinds of swag and make you feel like you are coming into an experience, coming into a culture, and that they really want you to be there, versus like, oh, hey, it's the new guy. Are you giving them any kind of mentorship? Are you having them meet the people and have lunch with them that first day? What are you doing? And I talked to some DSO leaders and they're like, yeah, but we need people to work. And yes, you do. But they're not going to be particularly productive after a 2-hour orientation and then just a couple hours of shadowing and hoping that they can start, picking up tools on day 2. It's not going to happen. Not very well anyway.